Ladies and gentlemen, it is now season 15 of Apex Legends. I've been playing this game since the day it dropped. I've been messing with my settings on and off, here and there, tweaking a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I found the secret sauce for you. In season 15, I'm going to give you my best controller settings. I've been using these settings for a couple seasons now, I will admit, but I'm going to be going over any other settings that you should be looking at in depth. Let's head quickly into the firing range and we can get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start it out with the gameplay tab up here. Interact prompt style is going to be set to default. This has usually been set to default for me. If you want to switch it over to compact, be my guest. All it's going to do is show less information of the items that you find on the ground and in bins. Button hints, I have this set to off. All this is going to do for you is, let's say you get confused on which button to hit when you're going to use your ultimate ability or when you're going to swap your weapons. This will give you those little hints that you need on which buttons to press for certain situations. I've been playing the game for so long, though, that I have this set to off, and if you're an experienced player, I don't really see the need to have this on. Crosshair damage feedback, I have this set to off. If you want to be my guest and try out X or X with shield icon, you can definitely do so. I just feel like it's a lot less visual clutter if you have that set to off, and it's not really that big of a deal. It's not going to change your game dramatically. Unlike this one here, damage numbers, I would definitely have this on stacking because it adds up the damage for you. You don't have to do mental math in your head like if you wanted to switch it over to floating, or if you switch it to both, it's just a little bit more visual clutter, so that's why I don't like that. Definitely do not set this option off because then you can't give proper callouts to your teammates. Let's say you do 67 damage to an opponent, you just have to basically guess based on their health bar exactly how much damage they have remaining. So that's not the option I would go, especially if you're into playing ranked a lot. I would keep that on stacking. Ping opacity, I have this on default. Not a big deal with this option. It's definitely not essential. Either way you want to go, be my guest. Obituaries, I have this set to on. If you want to teabag the homies, this is going to be the way to do it, to see who you killed. So I have that set to on. I like to get a little toxic here and there. Minimap rotation, I have this set to off. I like it to stay in one spot, not turning all over the place, so I have that off. Weapon auto cycle on empty, I have that set to off. I've been playing the game for quite some time, like I said before, so I have a good understanding of when I'm going to be low on ammo. Just take a little peek in the right hand corner and you will be able to see. If you're a newer player, you might want to keep that on for a while, but once you get experience, I would be turning that one off. Auto sprint, I have this set to on. I've always had this one on. If you want to click in your left stick every single time, be my guest, and you can turn this off, but I feel like it's going to wear down your left stick a lot more if you have this set to off. So I've always just kept it on so you can just push it forward and run. Double tap to sprint, I've always had this off. Jetpack control is a must to have on hold if you are playing as Valkyrie. Toggle just gets super annoying. Then you have to tap it once to go up and then tap it another time to come down. Meanwhile, if you have paddles, this would be a great option to have on hold because you can just hold it down on the back of your controller, go up in the air and such like that. Incoming damage feedback, I have that set to 3D. Taking damage closes death box or crafting menu. You got to have that option off or you're not going to be able to shield swap quickly in boxes. So that one's a definite to have off. Hop up, pop up, I have that set to on. It just basically tells you what each hop up does. Not necessary to have it off or on. I just prefer to have it on. Streamer mode, I have that set to off. Anonymous mode, I have that enabled for now, so I don't get hunted down if people see me in the kill feed. Not that I'm that popular anyways, but it's just a little option that I like to have on. Usage sharing, I have that set to enabled. Performance display, have that on, so it shows your FPS, stuff like that in the corner of your screen on the top right. Club invites, have that set to enabled. If you're too popular, turn that off. If you're getting too many invites, pop that sucker off. Communication filter, I have that set to everybody. Reticle, I have it customized if you want to take a look at it. These are the numbers in the bottom right here: 154, 246, and 255. I've been rocking with this reticle for about 2 seasons now, and it hasn't let me down, so I'm not going to change it. Laser sight, I just have this on default. You can customize this to whatever color you would like. So let's say we want a little pink one. I'm going to go with that, 255, 45, 13 in the bottom right hand corner there, and I'm going to save it. And I guess we'll go around with the pink reticle for now. Colorblind mode, I have that set to off. Subtitles off. Subtitle size does not matter. Enable accessible chat features off. Convert incoming voice to chat text off. Play incoming text chat as speech, I also have that off. So we're going to be skipping the mouse and keyboard tab here because obviously we are on controller. This is controller settings only. I'm sorry to the mouse and key guys. I am so bad on mouse and keyboard, so we're not going to be covering that. Onto the controller tab here. Button layout, I have that set to default. I used to have it on customized and it was the exact same as default, so there's no reason that I didn't go back to default. default. Now I'm back on default. Interact reload button set to tap to use and reload. That's an essential option in my opinion, unless you want to bind, how to open a door and how to reload to separate buttons. But I have that, set to tap because I don't like to hold it down for too long there. Crouch button, I have this set to hold. I do have paddles. I do have to warn you guys before you start asking in the comments. I have an Elite Series 2 Xbox controller. My right back paddle is set to jump and my left back paddle is set to crouch. So this is how you would crouch spam very, very quickly, is have this set to hold, and then you could just press it down, let go of it, press it down rapidly in succession to crouch spam quickly. Aim button, I have this set to hold. Survival slot button, I have that set to off. You can easily turn that on if you don't have any heirlooms. I actually will turn that on. I don't have any heirlooms, so you're not going to be spinning your heirlooms around if you don't have any heirlooms. That's really the only reason that you would turn survival slot off, in my opinion, if you're on controller. Trigger dead zones, have this set to none. You do not want to have this set to max, because let's say I pull the trigger at the same time that someone pulls the trigger and they have the setting set to max, if that makes any sense. I'm going to be shooting exactly when I hit the trigger, rather where they will be shooting a couple seconds later because of the delay. So keep that on none. Just trust me on that one. I don't want to explain it any further. Hopefully that made sense for you guys. If you have any comments or questions, just leave it down below for me. Menu cursor speed, I have this about halfway up. Make sure you can scroll through death boxes and stuff like that without, going too far over the items or undershooting the items. You might want to mess with this. This is a lot of preference for the menu cursor speed. Now we head to the movement and aiming settings. I use ALCs. I've used ALCs for the past couple of seasons now, but a lot of people that I know use these sensitivities that I'm about to list right here: 4-4, 5-4, 6-4, 6-3, 5-3, and 4-3. Those are the most common sensitivities, if I had to say so. So we're talking about the look sensitivity, which is left and right without aiming down sights. Then you're talking about the look sensitivity ADS, which is aiming down sights left to right. You want that a little bit slower, in my opinion. I've found that to work better for me, but try it out and let me know what you guys think. Response curve, usually I would use classic. I have it set to linear because I was testing some things out, but I usually use classic when I'm using these normal settings. Then I have my look dead zone on either none or small. You can mess around with either of those to see which works best for you. Movement dead zone, have that on small. Inverted look, I have that off. Vibration off. Then we head to the advanced look controls that you guys are going to probably want to see here. Like I said, I've had these on for the last 2 seasons. It's most likely the same as you saw in the last settings video, but I did want to just explain everything once again for you. Dead zone right here is set to 9, outer threshold set to 2, response curve set to 11. My per optics settings are shown right here. We got 1.0, 1.3, 1.6, 1.6, 1.6, 1.8, 1.8, just in that order. You can take a screenshot and, copy that over to your own settings or tweak them here and there if they don't feel right. Obviously, these settings might not be absolutely perfect for you, so try different ones out and, tweak some little things here and there until you get your perfect sense. Yaw speed, I have this set to 361, pitch speed 321, turning extra yaw set to 80. I have turning extra pitch on 0, turning ramp up time 0, turning ramp up delay on 0, and I have ADS yaw speed on 135, ADS pitch speed on 119, ADS turning extra yaw on 49. All these other ADS settings are on 0. Then I have the target compensation set to on and melee target compensation set to on. This is going to be your aim assist settings. You probably want to have this enabled. If you disable it, it's going to be a lot harder to track enemies in this game because we are not using mouse and keyboard. So we need that little boost. We need that little cheating aim assist in our controllers to succeed in this game, apparently. So next up is the video settings here. Now I am going to have a lot more settings than people that are on console. I just want to give you a warning. Most of these settings will not be available to you on console, but if you're on PC, the display mode will be on full screen, aspect ratios native. Resolution is going to be 1920 to 1080. You can bump that up if you'd like to 1440, but I prefer not to because it makes my game lag a little bit. Brightness is set to 62. Field of view is maxed out all the way. You do not want to have your field of view at 70. If it's still set to the default, which is 70, please change that at least to 90 and above, in my opinion. Makes you able to see your surroundings a lot better. FOV ability scaling, I would definitely recommend having that disabled if you play Bloodhound or Octane. This is an essential setting to have disabled. Sprint view shake, I also have that set to minimal. This is another essential setting setting, in my opinion, to have on minimal instead of normal. You don't want your screen shaking all over the place when you're running. VSync, I have this set to disabled. NVIDIA Reflex, enable plus boost. You can see all my settings right here. Anti-aliasing, TSAA. Texture streaming budget, high. Texture filtering, anisotropic, 4 times. Ambient occlusion quality, I have that disabled. Sun shadow coverage, detail, low. Spot shadow, detail, disabled. Volumetric lighting, disabled. Dynamic spot shadows, disabled. Model detail, effects detail on low. Impact marks disabled, and ragdoll set to low. None of these options are really that essential, so if you want to save your PC some stress, then I would recommend turning a lot of these settings on to low, like I have them set to. Onto the audio tab, and last but not least here, master volume set to 80. I got my voice chat input device set to my microphone, my external microphone. Voice chat record mode on push to talk for now. You can turn that to open mic. You're playing ranked and you need some good comms. Set that threshold of whatever your mic allows for you. You're gonna have to test that on your own. Incoming voice chat volume, I have that on 100. Sound effects volume on 100. Dialogue volume on 100. I don't like to listen to the Apex music while I'm playing, so I have that set to 0. And also lobby music volume, I also have that set to 0. Sound in the background. And you can see down here, I don't even know if you can change this setting, but Windows audio configuration set to headphones and stereo. And that is all the settings for season 15, guys. I apologize for not being able to go down here, but the sounds that are going off from people trying out Catalyst down here are way too loud. Leave a comment down below if any of this helped you, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace out, guys.